Hello and welcome. I'm very excited today to be able to tell you about my Give to the Bit course. This course will teach you how to train your horse to go in frame, be soft in the bridle, and use and build his top line muscles. Teaching Give to the Bit will produce a safe, confident equine partner to make your riding fun. I consider this the most important lesson you will ever teach your horse and the fastest, most ethical way to train your horse to be attentive to the rider and therefore safe. So who is the course for? Give to the Bit is for all levels of riders. You can teach this if you are just a beginner rider. In fact, it would be a wonderful thing to teach your horse because it's a simple pressure release exercise, and at the end of the course you'll have a good understanding of how your horse learns. Your horse will also gain a lot of confidence, especially if he's been ridden by beginners or children that tend to be less predictable than adults or experienced riders. In this course, your horse learns that training isn't scary. Training is predictable, training is engaging, and training, above all, is fun. This course is also excellent for advanced riders. It will teach your horses to be soft in the bridle, more supple, and easier to ride. But my horse is a quarter horse, off the track, shire horse, you fill in the blank. Give to the Bit is suitable for all horses, regardless of their discipline. I find some of the horses that really appreciate the course are those that have experienced meaningless and relentless bit pressure, such as dressage schoolmasters or off-the-track horses. They suddenly realise that the pressure will go away if they do this one simple thing. Oh, how easy, they think. I can do that. This is the foundation of all the training that will give you a safe, confident and happy equine partner. I teach this lesson to my 2- and 3-year-olds, after they've been seen by the dentist, as a starting point of their education. From here, I go on and can do all the other groundwork, including shoulder control and long reining, before I even think about mounting. By the time the first ride comes along, I have a horse that completely understands the bridle, travels in frame, is light and easy to manoeuvre, and has built up the top line muscle necessary to carry me. This is a photograph sent to me by a client recently. I've never met this girl, but she purchased my Give to the Bit DVD online and kindly wrote and told me how she got on. Let's have a look at the photo. You can see his head is really high, and this hollows his back. Naturally, the horse carries 40% of his weight on his hindquarters, and the vast majority, a whopping 60%, on his shoulders. So now, with a hollow back, the rider sits basically on his shoulders, further compounding the problem. Now we tell the horse to elevate his shoulders and get his hindquarters underneath him so he can turn, jump, canter, or otherwise perform in some way. And of course, the horse replies, "I can't." So what else do we see here? The horse's hindquarters are well out behind him. The horse is in trot in the photograph, but the hind legs are barely making it to the point of his flank, let alone tracking up. Again, with his head in the air and a hollow back, the horse is incapable of using his hindquarters correctly. Now that rules out many disciplines for you to ride and compete in, but what about trail riding? Surely I don't need frame and softness for trail riding. Well, I have to say I think the opposite is true, and here's why. Give to the Bit is not about pretty, it's about safety. Riding in arena is much safer than riding out in the big wide world. If my horse shies at something in the arena and I fall off, I am most likely to land on sand. If the same thing happens on the trail, I could hit my head on a rock, my horse could gallop off and leave me, I could get eaten by a bear, almost anything. And where are the scary things? There is certainly more on the trail than you'll ever find in the arena. Teaching Give to the Bit to your trail horse doesn't mean he should spend the entire ride in frame, but it gives you a place to go to calm your horse down if necessary and get its attention back on you when things get exciting. Another reason is your horse's longevity. I don't know about you, but I struggle to keep my weight at an appropriate level for all the different horses I ride. By building top line, we are muscling up the horse in the places he needs to carry us. We are teaching him to round and lift his back. Many horses suffer from sore backs through ill-fitting saddles, but this is another cause. Give to the Bit will also stop him pounding along on the forehand, which can result in considerable lameness. Okay, so back to the photo. I want to mention a couple of things that combine to tell us that the horse is not at all relaxed. Check the ears, they're back. He looks quite uncomfortable. Also look at the tail. It's being held up in an awkward manner and not hanging in a relaxed way at all. Right, let's look at the after photo. Remember, this girl didn't do the whole Give to the Bit course, just one component of it. She watched the Give to the Bit training DVD, which is included in the course online. However, while this is a very, wow, what a difference photograph, it's also exactly what I would expect to see. The first thing that strikes me is the relaxation that's completely missing in the before photo. We can't train anything if the horse is not relaxed, so until we have that, we might as well go home. But look at him now. His head's down, his ears are forward or soft and listening, his tail's relaxed. Just that in itself is an enormous improvement. This is what I mean when I say the horse will thank you for teaching him this lesson. The horse is now rounding his back. Let's flip back to the previous photo for a moment. Can you see the horse's back is so hollow that the rider almost seems to be sitting in the horse's back? Now, with the other photo, she's sitting on the horse. This is because the horse's back is no longer hollow. He has lifted his back and the rider is now being supported by his back muscles and no longer sitting on his spine. The horse is now able to step under himself. I suggest you teach this exercise in a slow trot, which the rider is clearly doing. Get the horse to do the movement, soft and in frame, and then worry about the quality of the pace. All too often we are pushing these educationally young horses to do everything in a good working trot. The problem is the horse can only think of one thing at a time, so if he's being pushed to do a working trot, he isn't able to concentrate on the manoeuvre that you want to teach. This is part of the prioritising and breaking down of the lesson that I've done for you in the course that makes it easy for both you and your horse to follow. This is the letter I received from the client in the two previous photographs. It reads, Monaro Magic is an 11-year-old thoroughbred gelding. Magic raced until he was 8 and then retired. He was then placed in a paddock and used for a trail ride every so often. I bought Magic 18 months ago, and in all that time I've only ridden him for about 6 months' worth due to injuries of his own and mine. When we have been riding, I have been trying many different methods to teach him to carry himself and give to the bit with no success. Today I watched Kate Fenner's DVD, Give to the Bit. I then went out for my afternoon ride and thought I would try on the ground methods used in the video. Magic picked these up very quickly on both reins. I then decided in my ride that I would try using Kate's methods under saddle to see if I could get it to work. To my amazement, Magic started to work in frame, give to the bit, and work from behind. He had correct head position in walk and trot. I didn't try canter as I was riding bareback. I can honestly say I was in amazement, as 4 days prior, if I collected the reins, he would put his head up and work like a camel with a hollow back. Thank you very much, Kate. Magic is now working a lot better and I'm very happy with it. I should be watching the remaining DVDs of yours. It's great to know we can watch the DVDs and do it on our own without having to have people right there with us or be in a clinic. Thank you so much again. But remember, this is just part of the course I'm talking about today. She watched the full-length training DVD, which is included in the online course. However, the course you get has another 8 training lessons that focus on the difficulties people can have with the lesson, such as where to stand, how much pressure to use, and so on, simplifying it and breaking it down to ensure your success. So, why teach Give to the Bit? For me, safety always comes first, both my safety and that of my horse. If either of us feel unsafe, then we are certainly not gaining confidence and we're certainly not having fun. And I want to dismount from every ride with a huge smile on my face, and I want my horse to be looking for me tomorrow to have some more learning and fun. The lesson is easy for the horse to understand and easy for the rider to implement. If you've not formally taught your horse a lot in the past, then this lesson will set you up for training success in the future. You will learn how to use both positive and negative reinforcement correctly, how to engage your horse and moderate his emotional level to optimize learning, and above all, you and your horse will see just how fun learning and training can be. Give to the Bit is the first step in the training process. giving you a soft and attentive horse. If your horse is not relaxed, he is not learning. If his head is in the air, then his back is hollow and he is not working properly and you are risking damaging his back. If the horse is hard in the mouth, then you can't establish communication and therefore can't expect him to change until he understands this lesson. I've yet to find a horse that couldn't learn this lesson, no matter how hard-mouthed he used to be. Attentiveness gives you the ability to make your horse an active learner in the training program. A lot of us still ride around on very reactive horses, horses that spook and shy, and this can be very dangerous. A shying horse is simply not under your control, almost always because it lacks confidence and doesn't understand the job it's being asked to do. This course will turn that around for him. It will create a tremendous amount of confidence in your horse, and you'll see the difference immediately, just like the client in the photos shown earlier, from one day to the next. Top line muscles are essential to carry the rider and allow the horse to collect and get his hindquarters underneath himself. This cannot be done with tie downs, diet, or any of the complicated lunging contraptions on the market today. The only way to do this is to get your horse to work correctly, softly, and in frame, and this is exactly what this course will teach you. Whatever your chosen discipline, from dressage to reining or show jumping to trail riding, a horse travelling in a soft and round frame that understands the bridle and is building top-line muscles is imperative, and this is the place to start. The lessons are broken down into easily manageable concepts, and you'll be taken step by step through the process in order to make it easy for both you and your horse. It's very important to me that you're successful, not only because I know your horse will be much happier and you will also be much happier and safer, but I have never had anyone teach this and not want to go on and do more. No one has ever said, "Oh yes, that was great, but I think I'll go back to riding my horse with his head in the air and minimal control." They all say, "Hey, what's next? What can I teach now? That was fun. That was easy." And the most frequent comment I get is everyone keeps asking me if I got a new horse. So, how will I progress? We begin on the ground with the simple give to pressure exercises. The lesson is taught from both sides independently, meaning we never pick up on two reins together and force the horse's head into frame. With these groundwork exercises, we build consistency of frame. The horse learns to carry himself calmly while you work him from the ground, so as not to confuse him with any other cues, such as leg signals that you might inadvertently use. For the purposes of the lesson and getting your horse to understand softness, we need to isolate the response, giving to pressure, and the cue, applying bit pressure. This, of course, raises the horse's back and begins to build top line. Finally, we ride the same lesson and find, yay, we have a soft, attentive, relaxed horse that's travelling in frame and using his back correctly. So what's inside my course? Well, there's a full 1 hour training lesson, the one that the example client used, and that can be watched online within your membership area. It comes with printable PDF instructions to guide you step by step along the way. In addition, there are 8 more training videos that focus on the things that some people find difficult, such as where exactly to stand, how much pressure to apply, where the horse's head should be, and how to deal with the older horse. There's also a 7-part bonus course on understanding and influencing your horse's emotional level. I recommend you go through this first, as it should give you an insight into how your horse is coping with any lesson or situation. I find that misjudging a horse's emotional level, assuming the horse is naughty, for example, when it's scared, is the most common precursor to accidents and welfare issues. All of the videos are of extremely high production quality, and the 8 training videos are clear and precise, not 30 minutes of someone wandering about in the arena at a distance. You have access to the course for 1 calendar month from the day of purchase. This is not an unusual frame, but by now we know that the horse is hollow in the back, not stepping under itself, and as you can see by her mouth, not at all relaxed and rather unhappy with the bit. So am I sure you can do this? Absolutely, completely, without a doubt, and I know you and your horse will love it. I also know it will leave you begging to learn more, as will your horse. He never knew it could be this easy. Here's the same horse, quiet and soft in the mouth, round in the back, stepping under herself, and above all, relaxed and enjoying her work. What more could you want? I look forward to seeing you inside the membership area, where I'm available to answer any of your questions anytime.